We're going to go ahead and open Blender. For us today, I'm going to ask you to open the sculpting mode. So when you get to this page, you want to just click sculpting. And so for this quick tutorial, we're just going to be using, you're going to see that we're in sculpt mode here. This is very important to up here. Generally, you'll find all of the different modes that you can go into for Blender. And if you're just getting started, this is going to be where we're going to start for this particular project that we're going to do. And today, we're just going to focus on using the draw tool. And so for the draw tool, you'll see here, you can see this, it just shows me this ball. If you don't have a 3-button mouse, that's really important because the things that we're going to do, we want to try to use a 3-button mouse for. Some of you with the Surface Goes, you're going to want to get familiar with that stylus and how to use that Surface Go. But also using a mouse at the same time is usually recommended. So right here, I'm gonna kind of zoom in, zoom out with the wheel, and I can also zoom in and zoom out manually with the magnifying tool over here. You can see. Um, so over here, if you see this screwdriver and wrench, this is the active tool workspace settings. I'm gonna move myself out the way here since we're not gonna use those tools. That doesn't matter. So I'm going to go down here and you can see there's a radius. This is my radius I can change. And if you look at that now, you can see how big this is. And then you'll see that we could do additive, add effect of the brush or subtract. Um, I tend to lean towards either sticking to the add or the subtract and then using the control key to reverse that. So if I'm in add right now, I can always do subtract. And I'm just using, I'm clicking on it and that's what's happening. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Um, I personally prefer to use start somewhere in that 50 range if I can. And then I like to hit the, this is the dynamic topologies setting. I want you to go ahead and click that. And what that allows us to do is to be able to zoom in and out and have it automatically adjust the resolution for us. So if you see, that's what it looks like there. If I zoom in further, you can see that it adjusts a little bit and that all of this geometry adjusts itself for us. So, and we'll get into some of that a little later, talking more about that. But you can see how this is now I'm adding, and then now this is subtracting, and I'm just holding down the control key to do that. So today you're just playing with this, and if you change the strength of it, and if you change the radius of it, you could do a lot of things. So you can see how much I just took away there. I'm going to go ahead and back up a little bit. Make sure you always have to re-click this. And then I can also do something where I'm on more than one axis. So this is the X, Y, and Z axis. And you can see here, I'm doing that. And it's going to do both sides for me. If I hold down that center wheel and move my mouse around, I can move around the whole object. So I can reverse that. And I'm still in subtract, so I'm going to hold down control. And then I'm going to do this. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't select the X. So you always want to check the X, check your dynamic topology again. I'm going to go ahead and hold control, and you can see how I'm doing two sides at once. This comes in really, really handy when you're doing figurative work because essentially, we are semi-symmetrical beings. And so when we're go ahead and doing a little sculpture of a human or a figure or animal or anything like that, doing this kind of setting is going to come in handy. You do want to be careful with playing with the strength. I'm going to come down a little bit. And you can do all three at the same time, all three of these axes. And you can see how that works out. Sometimes that's handy as well. There's tons of tutorials on YouTube of people constructing whole figures using this type of method. I highly recommend that you kind of go down that rabbit hole at some point. But today, I just want you to play with this and just see what you can create. I do want you to be aware that you can break the mesh. And if you see this little slit here, you can break the mesh, and you don't want to do that. If you do that, we're going to end up needing to go back into what's called edit mode and adjusting and basically closing up that. And we'll get to that later. Today, I just want you to focus on just getting the feel of Blender in this way. Let's not try to do too much on the first day of playing with it. All right.